Thank you for sharing in these live streams. Along with you, I have been listening to Jim Newman and Tony Parsons a lot lately. Hearing that the person I believe I am with a story is an illusion that is meaningless at times feels like freedom, but right now it feels devastating. I feel tricked and hopeless, nothing I can do. Devan. Yeah. So see that it's the person that feels tricked and hopeless. So waking up has nothing to do with the person. So the person's interpreted what Tony, what Jim, what I have to say, and then the person feels tricked and feels hopeless, and that there's nothing the person can do. So just see that psychological story that's going around in your head and notice that there's something that's experiencing that. And that which is experiencing that story is freedom. Your person, though, that says that you feel tricked and you feel hopeless and there's nothing you can do, thinks that it's got something to do with you. And more than likely, you're being heavily influenced by the teachers that say all these things. So the idea that there's nothing you can do, that's not actually your experience. There are things that you can do to make you feel better, even though it's not you doing it. It looks like it's you, but it's not you doing it. Like when you wake up in the morning, you can choose between cleaning the house or not, and ultimately it's God's will whether that impulse comes to clean the house or to not clean the house. So it's not your will, so ultimately it's God's will, but there seems to be that choice. There seems to be an appearance of choice, and it seems like somebody has free will, and that's meant to be there. It's meant to appear like you have free will and you have choice, otherwise you'd feel really trapped and caged in this world. So it appears that you can go for a walk in nature, or you can buy this house, or you can buy that house. And when you begin to get into non-duality, you try to mix up the absolute and the relative. The human is always meant to act as if it has free will and choice. But when you're listening to non-duality, you're beginning to learn about the absolute, and then you begin to put the absolute onto the relative. So you say there's nothing that you can do, and I don't think that Tony, myself, or Jim Newman say that. Maybe they do, I don't know. I think they speak quite differently from me. And if they say it, then that's what they say. But they might just be responding to one particular person. But that's a story you tell yourself, there's nothing I can do. If you keep telling yourself there's nothing you can do, it will lead to more than likely depressive feelings and a feeling of stuckness and a feeling of trappedness, because the human on the balanced side of being shouldn't be telling itself there's nothing I can do. The human being balanced feels like it can do things and it can act and that it does have choice. So the way that we work is that we're all very robotic, like there isn't actually somebody inside of us that is orchestrating our lives. Who we truly are is this consciousness, this empty looking, and this consciousness is all things and it's oneness. But our bodies are set up like robots, and everybody's body is set up quite similar. And the robot interacts with the world and evolves. So we're all very robotic in the way that we're set up. We think that we are evolving, that we're choosing to evolve ourselves. But evolution is happening. So we evolve by putting information into this body. So when we go to choose an object, when we choose between one house and another, we think that that's us choosing, but what's actually happening is we're putting information into the system, and the system is being updated, the system is learning, and the system is evolving. And it happens, we're doing it in computers now, so we're programming computers that evolve by themselves, which is really quite full on. And you can go on YouTube and you can watch, and you can go to these websites, and you can watch an evolution of a computer. You put in a picture, and then the computer, by its own apparent free will, even though ultimately it doesn't have free will, it evolves depending on the way that it's being programmed. And through that evolution, so through creating the picture, it then it grows its program. And that's what we're like as humans. We think it's us inside here that's running the bodies. And what we have is we have these chakra centers in our body. And these chakra centers have particular thoughts and feelings and health associated to them. So this is a very ancient idea. It appears in Chinese medicine and it appears in Ayurvedic medicine. And it's very simple. So each chakra thought has particular thoughts, particular feelings associated with them, and particular health problems. And it's really super accurate. And we've got 7 main chakras, and then there's loads of other chakras. And if any one of those chakras are out of balance, we'll have particular thoughts. So if your solar plexus is out of balance, it will have thoughts like, I can't do things, I'm trapped, I'm stuck. And when I say out of balance, I just mean negative, like in its negative. It's out of balance because it's stuck in its negative. I'm stuck, I can't do things, I can't affect the world, I can't choose, good things never happen, I'm stuck in this, life won't get better, life is pointless, life is meaningless. When it's in its positive, it feels like it can do things, it can complete the task, life will work out, things will work out, life has purpose and life has meaning. And that purpose is just now when you're doing something. So if you're in the positive and you have a positive solar plexus, then when you wake up in the morning, you'll feel quite motivated to do things, and you'll feel like you can do things, and you'll have energy to do them. If you have it in the negative, as soon as you begin to do things, you'll get exhausted because you'll be telling yourself unconsciously, and your chakra will be vibrating on that level, I can't do things, I'm stuck. And then it will keep feeling like it's stuck. And this happens to all our chakras, and all our chakras have different feelings and thoughts associated to them, and we think it's personal. So then we make up big grand stories around it. So now you come to this talk, you come to Divan, you come to this talk, and you come to Tony Parsons' talk, and whoever other person was, Jim Newman's talk, and then you think that life is pointless and meaningless, and you think it's because of spirituality. You think it's because of something new you've just worked out, and you think there's nothing you can do. But I'm assure you've been having those types of thoughts in every area that you every area in your life. You'll have been struggling to find purpose and meaning in your life. You'll have been struggling to find reason. You'll have been struggling to do things, to complete things. Or you could have been the other way, and then it's all beginning to collapse and it's gone into the negative. And then you think, and you add all this to a story of you, and you craft a very neat and careful story of you and what it means for you. So you listen to us, and then you interpret it in the human through your chakras and through your particular setup. And you think that's what we're talking about, and you think that's non-duality. But that's not non-duality. You're just processing what's being said through your chakra system, through your particular unique chakra system, which makes a character, through your particular character. And this is the illusion. So everything that you think about non-duality, everything that you think you've learned from us teachers, and now you're saying to yourself, and you've had these realizations, you believe that belongs to you, and you believe in this story that's moving in time. You might even feel irritated now that I'm challenging this, which again will be in the solar plexus or the heart, because you might feel unloved, or like I don't love you. So the heart goes into the negative, like I've rejected you, I don't love you, but it comes in defense and comes up as anger, like how dare she say these things, and it pushes it away. But maybe you're not, maybe you're really enjoying this. But basically I'm really challenging your ideas and your predispositions. So all it is a part in your body resonates in a certain way. So then you take particular things from the talks. Somebody that's got a very positive solar plexus and it's really like in the positive, I can do things and I can do it and I will make it, might feel really inspired by those talks and might not even take away, there's nothing I can do, there's no point, there's no purpose. They wouldn't even see it or hear it like that. Like, why are you hearing it like that? And then adding it to a story of you. There is no you. There is just this moment. And that's got nothing to do with you. Like, you comes and goes. These thoughts, these feelings come and go and move past like clouds in this. Who you are, this moment. And that's freedom. Really seeing past this illusion of the chakra system, of the body, of the feelings, of the thoughts, of the ideas, of the health, of everything to do with the body. And then in another way, you also see that you're not the body, but then you see that you are the body, and the body is the world. Like, everything that you feel and think is the world as well at the same time, which is quite confusing. And don't worry about that part. But what I'm trying to really challenge is any interpretation you have now is based on your particular up-to-date genetics and conditioning and the way that your chakra system is resonating. And you can do things, even though it's not you doing it, to make your current experience feel better. You can balance your chakras and you can challenge your chakras. So when your chakra is in that feeling of I can't do things, you can teach it to respond more in that you can do things, and that your life has meaning, not as in like it has a long-term meaning, but that scrubbing the floor or cleaning the toilet has meaning because it is. Like, and because it's your list of jobs to do, and that is meaningful enough. Like, just that is your list of jobs to do for the day, and that has enough meaning. You don't need this grand, like, big meaning, like I'm scrubbing the toilet because it's saving humanity and it's stopping the whole world imploding right now. You don't need that meaning. You only need that meaning if this is out of balance and you're trying to get yourself more balanced and more hyper, and like needing this high excitement to feel motivated to do anything. That shows that there's a solar plexus imbalance if you need high excitement to motivate you. Like saving the world by cleaning the toilet, you know, like. So what I'm trying to point out to you is that everything you think and feel about what a teacher is saying is illusion. What remains? What remains? This is it, baby. This is it, baby. Mr. William. You're a very small little dog. Very small little dog. Oh, you're such a good little boy. I do tend to feel stuck, trapped and depressed. No, your words are helping. So this overwhelming feeling is just more of my story and programming. Yes, and then you think it's got something to do with non-duality. It's solar plexus disbalance. If you feel like you get a lot of stuck and trapped and depressed, you need to work on the solar plexus. You need to work on the physical element. So the solar plexus has health elements. So you can look this all up on the internet, and the emotional elements. So what happens when you get into stories of feeling stuck and feeling depressed? You need to go in it and really acknowledge that feeling. So feel it in your body. So often when we begin to first start feeling our body, it's all just tense. So it's really hard to feel. But if you give it time, you'll begin to see that those feelings of feeling stuck and depressed and angry and frustrated are in the solar plexus. So just put your attention into the solar plexus and give it some space. Allow those thoughts to be there, like the basic thoughts that are coming up. Not the story that comes on top, like getting into non-duality and then thinking, ah, yes, life is meaningless, life is hopeless, and there's no point to doing any of this practice. Not these types of thoughts, or my work is pointless because it's boring and everybody's boring and it's just the same thing every day. Not those ones, the deep down ones that feel like life is hopeless, life is pointless, I'm stuck, nothing ever works out for me. And you begin to acknowledge them and feel them in your that solar plexus, and you'll know when they're true thoughts, because it will just click. It will just, when you've got to the base of them. And then once you've got to the base of them, once you've really acknowledged them and felt them, then you say the other one, you put the other story in there. So this is the reconditioning part, and you say, and you begin to imagine the opposite. Like, life has meaning, I have purpose, my life is meaningful, I can choose, I am strong, and things can get better. And you'll feel that energy vibrate in a more positive way. And then also there's things like chakra meditations that you can do. There's loads of them on the internet. You can come to my retreat and learn some. You can do my online retreats if I ever do them, or you can learn from stuff off the internet where you do breathing exercise or you do movements to help shift this energy out of your body. And this is just going to relax the person. This isn't about talking about the absolute, because who's experiencing all of this? But this is like if you've got a broken leg, like this is part of your body system that's getting stuck in a story. And I do think they tend to go hand in hand, like when you're waking up and hearing the truth of who you are, there does tend to be a balancing out of the body and the system, because if you're deeply contracted and tense the whole time, how can you hear the beauty and the wonder of this? Like, how can you begin to resonate with something that's deeper? You could say in a way like that resonance is beyond the person, so it bypasses the person. But from my personal experience, when the person is so involved in itself, there's so much concentration on that, then it tends to be missed. But in one way, it does have nothing to do with the person. Like, it's consciousness and aliveness and presence is free, even if you're suffering or not. It's free. Who you are, the looker, is free. But I recognize with a lot of people that I work with, not all people, but a lot of people like I work with, they sometimes need to be sorting out some of the human stuff, and then sometimes they can spend months and months just listening to non-duality and then some human stuff. That's my experience.